listened in high school economics, demand and supply may determine price. But the legal cannabis market is a government-controlled market, so governments get a say too. And Scott's been here with us this morning taking a look at how the government is setting the price. And this is really important, Scott, because we've been talking about an Ipsos Reid poll that found for 40% of Canadians, whether they buy legal pot or black market pot, it's determined by price.
It's so interesting, and let's not forget this is a market that already exists out there, and the government is coming in to want to take over that and get rid of the black market, and it comes down to price for many people, as you mentioned. So how does Bill Morneau, he's our finance minister, he set the price, the so-called sweet price, or sweet spot we've been talking about, anywhere between $10 and $12 a gram for pot. So how does he arrive at that, and how is that going to compete with the black market? That's what we're looking at this morning. But here's some numbers behind how we arrive at that sweet spot, or at least how Ottawa does. This is based on $8 a gram, what Ottawa is expected to pay to suppliers. Canopy Growth, for example, saying they can supply in around that $7.50 a gram. There's a $1 excise tax on that, similar to an alcohol tax, a sin tax, if you will. Federally, they plan to keep about a quarter of the revenue. That's capped at $100 million, with the rest, 3/4 of the expected $400 million in revenue to go to the provinces. So if in provinces you pay sales tax, GST, HST, if you pay it in the provinces, that works out to $1.17. Total price here, $10.17. Now, again, that's an average, and if we look at the provincial breakdown, a lot of the provinces have not announced what the pricing structure will be. Nova Scotia has, and they have 3 different brands to offer, and we're expecting that to be a bit of a template across the country. They have value brand, a core brand, and a premium brand, priced between $6.33 a gram and $15, depending on the quality that people want, and the THC levels there are anywhere between 2 and 24%, so lots of interesting numbers.
You pay depending on that, or that's one of the factors that determines the price, I guess. Sure. So that's what the government is pricing in order to attract people away from black market dealers. But the black market dealers, we're learning this morning, they're adjusting.
They're entrenched. They have a supply chain already. They know what their production costs are. They have customers there, and they're not going to want to give them up. And we're seeing overnight in Quebec from priceofweed.com that dealers charging there in between $3 and $5 a gram. And so that is plummeting. We're also looking at Stats Canada as far as them taking an inventory of Canadians across the country, what the average price per gram, what Canadians are self-reporting, and that it works out to $6.79 a gram on average. Now, the big players as well, I've been looking at the markets, and some of the, I don't want to mention them by name, but they are in the neighborhood, and there's lots of economists coming in now, MBA types, and they're looking at if you cannot produce pot for less than $1 a gram as a company, you could be dead in the water, or you could be amalgamated. So if that's a potential of $28 for an ounce of pot from the corporations going forward, what is that going to do to that $10 sweet spot? Is it going to come down to compete even more dramatically with the black market? So that'll be interesting to watch.
Absolutely will. We were learning this morning, more than 135 publicly traded pot companies in Canada, but the projection is, as you said, there may be only a half a dozen or so, a handful left in time if they fail, if they are bought up.
Yeah, and that's could be good for their pricing as well. I think of it now as the Wild West, and we're going to see some paring down. They can't compete, or they get taken over by the